Hey you guys, it's MJ from All to Love. I'm a little all over the place. I'm a little all over the place, and I'm not sure if I set this up correctly, to be honest. I this is like legit. I'm really good with scheduling and showing up. Sergio, good morning. Ball sacks. I often I try to, pardon me, you guys. Pardon me while I still try to get myself organized this morning because I'm not on it. I'm not on it, you guys. To be honest, I had a 5 a.m. call this morning. This is what happens when you coach people from all over the world, okay? They book you at really weird hours because they live in places in different parts of the world. And in fairness, because I'm normally up really early, I quite like waking up and having sessions. And now, here we are. Good morning. How are you? Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm here. I'm here for chats. I'm here for good Sunday flow. How are you guys? Yes, Renee. Yes, Renee. I love you. Thank you for showing up here this morning. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. So Sunday sessions, good vibes. Serge, dude, you know it. You know the good vibes. You know that we're going to hang out somewhere in the world at some point and probably eat really good food and like drink wine or something spectacular, eat cookies or something, Traveling to Malta. Where have you been? Rome, Malta. Are you working or are you Oh, it's Saturday, Renee. You must be in a different part of the world. You must be back Vancouver way. So let me get this a little bit better set up. Yes, absolutely need to hang out. Yeah, for sure. Might fail. No worries. That's all good. This is our first interactive chat. Are you traveling with your family, are you? I know a little bit about what you do, but I wasn't sure if sometimes I'm not sure if you're traveling is actually like a work related adventure. Okay. What's coming through for us? I love your energy in Southern California, girl. Thank you, Southern California girl, because there are people I find in this country that find me terribly offensive, actually. Being loud and emotional. The Brits are just like, ooh. I digress. And I don't mean that because obviously I love this country and I love living here and I wouldn't be here if I wasn't meant to be here. But when we're talking about the energies, which obviously we like to talk to on these channels, it's like, I often describe the energies in the UK sticky, like the most resistant country to change because they're the pioneers of the divide and conquer energy. And again, this isn't like personal attack. You guys know what it's like for me. Like there's just this detachment about all this insight and stuff. It's like energy. And energy is not judgy. Energy is just energy, right? Oh God, LA. Like I don't even, and I work in the industry. Bull. I couldn't. I did. Yeah, anthropology. I thought that's why I think like sometimes you're doing work because you could be on some radical, awesome excavation. Is that something anthropologists do? I think it is. Yeah, to be honest, going back LA, I could never, like, my whole life, I'm like, I could never go to LA. I'm like, it would just, like, hurt my heart, I'm pretty sure, to, like, feel the collective energy flow. And, like, yeah, I sometimes think just, like, God, my life, like, I'm literally so reclusive. My clients, like, I mean, I love you, are loud and emotional. Yes! I know. Okay, and like that's the thing about we as beings and how like I show up here and like obviously I'm in my bedroom, I'm mega comfy, I'm in my freaking PJs, you guys, like literally waking up and then channel and feel, and I meditate and I'll do yoga, but I have this lovely flat in the countryside in England, and I commute into London to see beautiful people and do yoga with them. And I'm just aware of sort of like living in this little bubble, very grounded to the earth, but like quite lovingly detached from the masses, lovingly detached from like a lot of mass agendas, if you could say. My dream as a kid, future self, away from LA, I live in the outskirts, I'm a hermit, going in to help people pull out. I know. Oh, well, there's that perfect reflection, isn't it? It's like, we're wanderers, we travel, and like Serge as well, like when like on some level, when we travel around, and for me, like this last phase where I've just been like commuting like a mofo lover, I swear to God, that's part of the earth work. I swear to God that our beingness, just being in certain, sparkling water, Marco. Sparkling water, what's that about? I love sparkling water. It's my fave go-to for like special drinks, because we don't drink as much soda, just sparkling water or like sparkling apple juice or something like that. So yeah, part of earth work for some of us, depending on, again, just our purity, our signature essence, as earth workers, part of like sometimes why we get guided to certain places, i.e. like guided to the UK, is literally to raise the frequency. And so earth workers, some people call it light workers as well, but like I'll be driving back and forth and back and forth, and so often all I'm doing is like meditating and channeling light. Helps me stay away from sugar. Yeah, I like, it's a nice alternative, isn't it, to like soda pop. But then it's water and it's sparkling and it's just quite nice. So yeah, wherever we go, if you're resonating with my vibe and my lingo, it's like literally wherever we're guided to go around the world, it's that we're channeling energies. So we're transforming. So like Serge, for example, like, because I went to Rome last year, and like this is just my personal point of attraction when I'm traveling or doing weird things, especially because I'm almost always alone completely, right? So when I'll like just get these random downloads. I might be on a tube in London. I might be driving around London. I might be walking around Rome as a city. Like I literally find myself, I think 3 years ago I was in Bordeaux, and I didn't know why I was in Bordeaux, but then I suddenly started having all these like, and then like my spiritual teacher at the time was like, oh, you're earth working. You're being guided to certain vortexual points on the planet to raise it up, basically, to remember the truth of that place. And so there's a lot of like 7 generations or more, infinite timelines, infinite patterns, infinite cycles that we're like completing at this time during this phase. And again, it's never so black and white as our kind of separate mind would have us believe. But we are transforming, we are up leveling, we're upgrading our systems, we're becoming more compassionate, more whole, more harmonious. And as a feeling being, that is a really beautiful thing, especially as a systematic program was that we all disconnected. It's like, hey, have any of you guys ever seen the Philip Pullman, I believe his name is? He wrote a trilogy of books. The main one was called Northern Lights. And then all around, gotta keep moving. Yeah, I feel that as well. Crazy downloads, messenger. I just like my older sister by giving her breadcrumbs to follow. Yeah. And that's all we can do. I really do believe that. And that's part of like, and last year when Alta Love was expanding and started working with Katie Finch, she just like, it was just, that was part of the download for her, like new awakening starseed, new awakening light word, and then we come together, she's making changes, she starts going zero waste, and it's like we just have this guidance for the be the change, right? And the be the change are just really practical things that we can all do to be the change, you know, like buy less plastic, write letters to MPs, support local businesses, and you know, and to me personally, like the 4 pillars for All to Love as a movement really do align with like my own like natural. Hey Marco, how are you? Why yo? Yeah, the 4 pillars just feel really like structurally sound, and then because we've put those 4 pillars down, now it's like we can build the movement with a stronger foundation and with really practical tips and tools, because let's be honest, not everyone can jump right away to understanding this kind of chit chat. And maybe never. That's something that I was acutely aware of when I was writing the Fearless Life Guide, and it's something that I really did have to get over myself. Like I had to get over my own kind of bullshit to realize like it doesn't, the masses, or like, and again, this is our 3D programming of thinking that we're all supposed to be recognized to be of value, or that we're supposed to be millionaires to be special, right? And that just completely went out the door, because the channel became so clear. And suddenly, as I'm more and more in my authenticity, there's no desire for external recognition. There's no desire for like some kind of external reward, because I know that part of the message is for certain people. Like I knew writing, I'm sure there's a line in the actual book as well where I'm like, this work won't resonate with everyone. Not everybody in this life or in this body necessarily wants to work with their emotions. I'm just aware that for me personally, part of my path and my intuitively guided path was that I live in the intuition, and all my journey has been an increasing living there. And part of the book was based on the fact that I had a past cycle in this lifetime where I didn't listen to the intuition out of fear. So I denied my intuition and stayed in a situation out of fear because I didn't know. Hey John, I didn't know how I was gonna survive. I didn't know how I was gonna have enough money. I wouldn't have any friends. My family wasn't here. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to just stay in this relationship because I don't know how to survive on my own. And then year after year, the relationship got more and more toxic. The relationship got, yeah, more and more toxic, basically. And it was me. It was me behaving badly. It was me being promiscuous. It was me having affairs. And like, that's a good Catholic girl. That's my upbringing as a good Catholic girl. And then by the time I hit my 20s, I'm in these like fucked up, distorted patterns, really, really toxic. And some of you guys know how that kind of came to an end. And then I'm in India. I'm in India for months training and doing my yoga, and I was already teaching yoga, but I was spinning out, right? And then I come back from the India experience, and then I go straight into teaching yoga full time, and that relationship dissolves, and that was the kind of beginning of the end of the next level of cycle for me. And I've never sort of stayed put anywhere very long. I've always had these powerful, intuitively guided, like, you have to go this way now, you have to go this way. And it was like I had to I just had to honor who I was inside. Yoga was something that gave me a bit of a permission slip because of the ancient teachings and because of how I resonated with them. And then literally over the course of my life, like doors just kept opening to be like, now you're gonna go down this direction, now you're gonna go down. And same with the YouTube, you guys. Like the YouTube was kind of no different. It was uncomfortable because like when this is first. Ooh, what's been your biggest learning? What I was just describing to you about the like that pattern. So I was with somebody for 6.5 years, consciously inside, intuitively I knew that it was over. Like my heart knew that the relationship was over, but I denied the heart, i.e. the intuition, and then ended up acting out bad for like 6.5 years, you guys. Most of my 20s, I was just like lashing out and then breaking down and then lashing out and breaking down and being like, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, I was hurting myself as well. That's the thing about when we're in pain and when we're confused and when we're all fucked up. We are the toxic, we are the shadow, right? We are, and I can see it so clearly. Deny your light, you become the dark. And you might try to be denying the dark all along. Deny, pretend like that's not happening. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. No, it's not fucking fine. And that's kind of sometimes how I see like the Matrix is like people like, yeah, oh, let's go shopping. We're so happy and wonderful. And I dig it. I want people to be happy and wonderful. But as a highly intuitive empath, the thing with why are we born to help people? So that's why we attract those types of Botox. Hey, you guys! I'm gonna go back and look at some of these and some of these questions, my friends. What's been your biggest learning so far? Yeah. Oh, great. I just answered that kind of intuitively. Yeah. So it's like the denial of the intuition. And that was like a really big piece when it came to me writing the Fearless Life Guide, that patterns and then denying the intuition. So when we deny this inner knowing, when we deny this inner feeling of like, I think I'm supposed to go that direction, but it doesn't make logical sense. But then if we deny it, we like distort a kind of harmonious energy flow. And then that distorted energy flow will act itself out in distorted ways, i.e. having affairs, being promiscuous, like treating our bodies in abusive, toxic ways, right? Where we hurt self and other. If we're like, no matter what, when we're talking about relationship, we are reflecting one another. So if one person's in toxic, the other one is having to like deal with it too, and vice versa, right? Jealousy. Hey, Rochelle, oh, thanks. My biggest learning was jealousy of others in the 3D world, chasing job titles and salaries until I woke up. Interesting, John, because, yeah, see, Renee, the jealousy is a tough one to tackle. It sure is, because it's not nice. And we all know it. We all know, especially in all of this, like, love light and we're all gonna be shiny, happy people and super positive all the time. I've definitely, yeah, deny your light. It goes into like twisted darkness. It's just like, the magic beasts and where to find them. Is that the right title? It's the next J.K. Rowling book, but I believe it's the movie that is the prequel to the Harry Potter series, but I could be wrong. But that movie is exactly what I'm talking about. When we collectively disconnect and deny the feelings, that's my awareness. Like, that's my perception, you guys. That's why we have all this crazy conflicted chaos in the world as we know it outside, is because the masses have been disconnected and are in denial that we're all one. That we're all here together sharing the Earth's resources, and that we're all collectively telling a story, a vibrational, energetic story of awakening, one that is beautiful and about coming to love. And yet this love, this is what I continue, change your light bulbs. This is what I, to really feel into, is like the love is what's guiding us, and the love is powerful. Like, it's the love in my life, and I kind of joke, but anyone who's ever been in my life and who has been affected by the intuitive sword will know that, like, I'm shiny, happy, I give of self, I love, I just want to make people feel good about themselves, I just want to laugh with them. And then if something's not quite aligned with intuition, if something isn't quite meant to move the movement forward with all to love, boy oh boy, that intuitive sword will just come down. It's such a powerful directional shift in me that now it's become familiar. And in a beautiful way, now the tides have turned and the pattern's starting to shift and morph and change. And the beautiful thing is that I'm not going back into darkness. I'm not going back into darkness. Do you mean this light back here there, Marco? Or was it somebody who said change your light bulbs? Is that better? Do you prefer not having the light on behind me? jealousy, it's also, because it's not quite as heated as like frustration, rage, or anger, jealousy is fairly subtle as well, that people think they can hide it. Yeah, third dimension or third density. I would say 3D reality is like operating from kind of no higher than from your power center. So you think of like our world, right? How we use kind of sex and power. So we actually operate, so in a 3D reality, we're operating from this power center and below. Hence using like, yeah, sex, money, power to like power over people and control them and manipulate them and all that kind of stuff. But where I'm being distracted by the lights here. But what's happening is that we're moving from 3D to 4-5. So we're merging our energies with our higher self, with our broader aspect, higher downloads. Hence we're connecting our physical beingness with like as much or as broad as our polar aspect or our fullness as we can. And then that is what we're creating into the world, what we're birthing into the world. We, in a very real way, from these downloads and upgrades, we're shifting perspective. We're moving from a perspective of separation, the 3D thinking, or the matrix, thinking we're all just separate little bumbles of flesh and bone, right? And then somehow all of this inner work happens and we transform and we love ourselves and we heal these wounds and we remember the pain of the wounding and we remember the pain of separation in these bodies. And then before we know it, we start living and vibrating on a higher frequency because it's tangible. And that's been a huge part of the shift for me in these last couple of years, was that I'm like, it is undeniable. You can tell the difference between somebody who's moving into self-mastery versus someone just talking about it. You know, like what thing over my head? I don't have anything over my head. Oh, cool. Focus, people. Focus. So yeah, it really is like this love within us and this love all around us that's raising us up to a higher frequency. But the weird paradox is that it's quite painful because we're having to own all of these emotions that we've been in denial of for aeons, for ages, for 26,000, 13,000, forever, 6,000, 2,000. There's all of these like various patterns within patterns that are all coming into culmination and completion. This year has been the year, but obviously it all like blends and flows because we're all totally one of the whole, right? So there's a whole bunch of divine timing stuff that has to happen, which is why we're having to basically just keep meditating, just keep showing up for one another, just keep loving yourself, just keep loving one another to the best of our ability, and at the same time do stay connected. That's something that I just like keep getting, of just be connected, just stay true to your heart, right? Stay connected to the love that you are, because we are all the love. And I also, but is massively frustrated by the corruption, domination in the world. How do I help? I'm having fun in my meat suit too. Let him be. And that is part of, I would say, like kind of the trickiest bit, you guys, is that we just let people be where they are. And if we're getting triggered, maybe give them some space. If we're getting triggered by their awakening or by their frustrations or by their angers, it's okay. It's okay to like reflect it back to them, honor them, hold space for them, let them be angry, let them be upset, let them be frustrated. Because let's be honest, when we start awakening to that shit, we get angry. Because part of the awakening is kind of seeing through the stuff we're all taught, like, let's just be happy, good slaves. And then we awaken and are like, ah, what the fuck? You've enslaved me. You're playing. You're not playing nice or fair. And then you're waking up to that and you're just like, holy fuck. So more and more you do the inner work, you just kind of have to live your life, live in your little bubble, and then let people come to you, because they do, and they will, in various miraculous ways. And then you're just making me think as well, like, it's the love that heals us all, and the love from within us as well is what allows us to see in a loving, detached way. It's like the deep, profound love of just like the cosmic love of all love, like the mother lode of love. That love is what helps us see jealousy, envy, resentment, guilt, twisted shame. Those deep and dark and painful emotions that we all have, right? And I gotta say, like, jealousy is just part of the systematic learning, right? It's a good way to get people to kind of keep everything separate, make them be frightened of one another, make them compete with one another, make them not like one another, divide and conquer, right? So jealousy is, I love myself so much. Nice, Marco. I love that. See, the love. It's just all the love. The answer, not our fake masters. Yeah, that's a huge one. And that's a big part. So discerning something like jealousy versus, again, intuitive knowing. And this is a really tricky one, especially in the world. It's that, thanks, Marco, is that, you know, there are shades. There are different ways that we've been disconnected, right? Oh, do you know what's weird, truth, kindness? I can honestly say I'm not trying. This is maybe a big part of the shift for me as well, is that I just am in joy. I'm just like, I just feel joyful. But yet the joyful is this, again, kind of childlike allowing of the non-joy stuff too. Like, I can be angry if there's anger coming through, and I can be sad or upset. I can be lots of different things, and I can flow through the energy of it, but I just don't get attached to any one aspect, and so I just keep flowing through it, and it's that flow that I find incredibly joyful, supported. Like, this is the kind of sensory feeling stuff of my existence that I can try to explain to you guys, that I'm just like, wow, what has happened? What has become of me? Is like, it's just this flow. Now I'm doing this. Now I'm doing this. And like yesterday, it was like, let's get these live shares going, because some of you are kind of you never know exactly when I'm going to go live, and you're just like, yeah. So I just thought, well, if I can set a time that usually aligns, which this does, because 6 a.m. on a Sunday, let's be honest, is pretty chill for Ascension. Nothing is mandatory except BU. Yeah, I am. Twin Flame is a journey. Obviously, you find the Twin Flame journey a lot in different spiritual circles. I'm not one personally. I don't align with the idea necessarily. However, I align with a lot of twins, if that makes sense, because I do. Okay, so here's where I go with twins, is that in essence we're all one. So we all have different signature essences that reflect back to us more of the truth of us, or more of the wholeness, or in fact every reflection is a reflection of our wholeness. It's just that because our social programming is so dualistic, we try to deny parts of ourselves rather than embrace the stupidity, embrace the shadow, embrace the shame, embrace the whatever, right? Instead of trying to fit ourselves into a box. So Marco, Twin Flame journey is something you're gonna hear a lot about in the kind of spiritual awakening circles, and also in light worker communities. The idea of a twin flame is just soul essence, so like spiritual essence that's been sort of divided. So super powerful souls that have been divided, and then they embody in multiple bodies. So people, twin flames, divine masculine, divine feminine, are in their own intuitive knowing, their own recognition as souls, they also have a recognition with other souls, and they know that they're one. They know that they're one with that soul. So it's a unifying experience on the path of ascension. However, we all have the flame. We all have the flame of knowing within us. You could say the flame of recognition. And I can honestly say the more you do the inner work, the more and more humans around you you recognize. You know who they are, you know where they are, you know what they're carrying, you know the potential of part of their path. Yeah, I would say that as well. Like twin flames, they're just they are, right? And not all wish to be one with me. You are one with all. And you are, and lots of us want to share, but then that's part of us meeting up in the internet, right? A lot of us that you guys have naturally found me via internet, and I want to share this stuff. And in fairness, like there's been pockets of my physical manifested reality, they've just left. They've just decided I wasn't who they thought I was, or they decided they didn't like me, or all of this stuff. And in a way, thank goodness I kept going with my YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel, like yoga was all those years ago, has been like a lifeline of my own creative output, right? So I feel really blessed. I feel really blessed to have been guided into the YouTube. So 2012, I started making videos. Thanks, Renee. You're awesome too. 2012, I started making videos, and like, I swear to God, I was a nervous wreck. I was in my bedroom, classic, but I was like, oh God, this is so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Why am I doing this? No one's gonna watch my videos. No one cares. And again, that was 6 years ago, right? And so I've grown a lot. I've grown a lot in confidence and self-love vibration. And yeah, I feel blessed, Renee. And I feel blessed that you guys, that we all found each other, and that like, that we're allowed to be who we are, right? You made YouTube videos the year the world ended. Yeah, like literally around that time. Like, and like, cause I knew I'd had my awakenings in 2001, around 9/11. So 9/11 is what, like, I was in Vancouver on UBC, and then I remember my mom called me. Like, I started school, what, like a week? I'd been at UBC, and then I'm walking around the campus like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone's like, all the whole campus are all like surrounded on the TVs. And I was studying women's studies. My women's studies professor, like 2 weeks after 9/11, goes to some conference, does a talk on American foreign policy, basically just putting it out there, like, you know, terror is terror, and if we're being terrorized, why? What, right? Why are we inviting this terror? Very valid question. But challenging American foreign policy, even at that time, we had security. We had security outside of our classroom for the rest of the year, because she challenged the authority on that level, right? But it's not like she was saying like America deserves it or anything like that. She was just saying, why? Where is the terror coming from? And if we look at American foreign policy, we can see that some of the American militarized agenda has been to terrorize other countries for their own personal power, right? For their own personal progress. So what she was addressing was like, why are we as nations inviting this terror into our lives, right? But of course, we were not collectively yet, we were not evolved to have that question. Of course, since 9/11, everything's been coming undone. All of the veils have been being lifted. All of the corrupted aspects have been being shone. The light has been being shone. I don't know, Kelly, because I'm pretty sure other people's are hearing me right now. So yeah, you know, we're just continuing to shine the light. And those of us that have had earlier awakenings, you know, for 15, 16, 17 years ago, the path has, it's like ever since my awakenings, I was watching myself live life. now in reflection. And then I was like picking apart the relevant nuggets, and then that would help the shift now, if that makes sense. Because I knew the paradigm shift was happening. Or at least I knew that my beingness, my vessel, I literally made a choice that I refuse to live in a world if there isn't going to be a paradigm shift. As in, I was like, 5D with a 10-year-old, see, massive, right? But the younger ones now are, they are the new, right? So the younger and younger ones now, the newer generations now that are coming in are clear. They're already kind of clear channels. I'm hearing, but yeah, on reflection, you know, you can see that you are giving yourself all of those lessons. Can't hear. Oh, like, are your ears bad? I feel like I spoke to somebody recently whose ears were really bad right now as well. So that could be another ascension symptom. Oh, for sure. And so I'm not a mother, I'm not a parent, right? And I'm seeing parents with children in a much different way than I ever saw before, because it's like you can see the bind. You can see that there's a co-creative learning and the end of cycles. So as much as we are guardians for people, but then we also have to let people go at certain points as well. The new generation is karma free. But then, okay, but then that's also, I would say, is one, because we are doing the energy, because we're one collective energy flow, right? One collective body of energy on this planet, as a collective agreement of a unified experience. And on this beautiful planet, like, Earth is just like, it's like everyone wants to put a bid in. Like, I'll go to Earth. It looks fantastic. It looks so gorgeous, right? And then there's polarity and all of this other stuff that we have to face and unify and shine into for us to continue to grow in these bodies and expand and achieve greater potentiality with every lifetime, or every recycling of our own energetic life force. So it's like the new paradigm, this seed of a thought for me personally was the new paradigm. And it was like, I was never gonna be able to live in the world as people told me, like, that's just the way the world is, Molly. Humans are just greedy by nature. And I'm like, I'm not. I don't think people are. I don't think people are. I think people are being told that they have to be greedy, otherwise they have failed at life. You know, people are told, like, your house is important, your job is important, how much money you make is important. And then you're like, we are. Just us. Like, just the beings and the trees and, like, the water and the food resource on the planet. Like, that's all that's important. Let's be honest. Like, we can all go shopping and get a bit of a fix. Yay, we bought something and it made me feel good temporarily. But what is really substantial in our lives? Our relationships. And what is the most substantial? Our personal relationship, the dialogue that we have going on inside self. Since birth, question all of it, right? And like, all I know when I'm drifting through my own reality is, like, I just keep coming back to right here, and, like, I just have love for myself and for you guys. Love you, Serge. Have a gorgeous day, my friend. I know you will. You're always raw. You're always on it. You're on the liberation, freedom vibes. Unicorn, stardust, cosmic vibrator right here, you guys. You get a busy signal with self-dialogue. I think maybe we all get a busy signal sometimes, but that's been really coming in quite powerful for me, is like, this, like, letting the love continue, and, like, it all becomes more and more paradoxical. Because, like, I'm more in love with life and feel more in dominion of the life force, but I have no desire. Like, that's not true. I have desires. I'm like, yeah, I'm manifesting. I'm looking at manifesting a couple of things. And and I have complete faith and trust. However, what I'm very aware of at this point is that, hey, Nestor, I was thinking about you yesterday whenever you log on and your time stamps. So yeah, what I'm aware of is like, wow, how beautiful is love, and how wonderful to love myself, and how wonderful to be quite joyful in how I show up in the world, and to love what I do, and to make really good money doing what I do, and like, it's so amazing. And yet I have to continue to flow with it. And like, the weird thing is like, my inner reality, or my, like, the bubble of my world is just so quiet and so small and so insignificant. And like, the weirdest thing is getting to this place of all of this love, but like wanting nothing. Like, I don't know, just being so contented and peaceful and joyful. And here's the thing is like, I have to really, really honor, and like, working with Katie has been part of really being able to honor it. You guys, the proof is in the pudding. I practice meditation. I don't engage with much external information, as in like, I'm not watching any news, and haven't done for years and years and years. No radio, no, like, it's vegan, so I'm not eating any of like the slaughter, no violence, you know, plants, as zero waste as possible. So I'm obviously I finished my work for the course, but now I'm like finishing the course, and I gotta say, like, it's really intense, you guys, because the plastic and the waste is so rampant in our culture. And then when we become aware of it, and then we begin the transition of going zero waste, you're just like, okay, we have a fair amount of work, and it's all within us, you know, it's all within our ability to love, and our ability to permission ourselves to be who we want to be, and take action in the direction we want to take action in. And that's why Katie and I called the course Zenful Zero Waste, is that we're both pretty radical women. And we realized, like, she basically had a freaking meltdown like 6 months ago. She had a meltdown in a grocery store, and that was when we were like, wait a minute, we need to be really zenful about this. We need to be really chilled. Like, otherwise it won't work. Otherwise we'll just freak out, and we won't go zero waste, and it won't be fun. And yeah, and then that was the kind of turning point of like being really kind to one another. I have clients who sometimes give me little green juices when I finish my yoga sessions with them, and or randomly clients or people on the internet send stuff to me, and sometimes it's in plastic, and you're like, bah! But I'm learning, and I'm learning with Katie's help to like write a letter, or just write to companies, or write to people and be like, hey, would you mind not using plastic for this? Or one thing I noticed about buying everything secondhand, which I have done for 6 years, which I have been doing for a really long time anyway now. Hey, Beauty and the Botox. Is a lot of even eBay buyers, like they use recycled. It's all recycled plastic bags, right? And then the more we talk about it, the more people are talking about it, right? And if people want to make themselves happier, they will be guided. And that's something like it is just miraculous, you guys. Like, everything is just guided into my reality, because that's the truth of creation. When we're in the fullness of our love vibration, all we are doing in essence is like allowing our love vibration to be reflected back to us. All we're doing is opening our channel enough to allow the love, the money, the gifts, the people, the work, the whatever it might be. When our heart and field is open and in its knowing, everything then is reflecting back that knowing. And our manifestations are quickening in the sense that, like, what we're becoming more aware of is just like, so I'm seeing different cycles make manifest, but they're from different cycles as well. So now I'm moving into a manifestation that I actually visioned for myself like 6 years ago. And similarly work, I'm moving into a manifestation that I envisioned about 4 years ago. And then at the same time, but then other things are kind of going different perhaps you could, John Beanie. I still do. I probably will talk to you, John, about computery techie stuff at some point. Yeah, maybe Amazon wanna buy our zero waste course. And if you just sit tight, you guys, we've only got a couple weeks left, I think. I'll ask. But once we complete, so we've I guess set this stage where we've been dishing out week by week for the participants. So people sitting the zero waste course right now are, I think, heading into week 5 or 6. So there's only 2 weeks left, maybe 3. And then when we complete with this cohort, so once we complete the course properly with this like group of amazing zero waste pioneers, I'm gonna just do a little bit of tweaking on the site so that you guys basically from the end or nearing the end of November, when you buy the Zenful Zero Waste course, you're just gonna be sent the material. It's not as efficient to be sending it week by week. Plus, I think sometimes people get annoyed. Plus, I just like to share things how to be shared. And I'm a self-starter, clearly. So, like, with people, when they buy the course, it's kind of just like, here's all the information. You can either, you know, take it step by step, or you could, like, I've uploaded all the videos into private and unlisted video playlists, right? So that people now, they're like, they'll read a section, but some of us are learners. Like, we want to be engaged with people. So that's why the video content is super important when it comes to online learning. So people could like read through the whole thing, or if they wanted to, and this is kind of like what I've done, to be honest, is that I've just watched all the videos. I've watched all the videos and then like made notes along the way, and then little bits of the writing. So like just like, obviously there's a whole section about the approved retailers, right? So like which actually, now this is a bit scary. Now also, it's been 45 minutes, people. 45 minutes. So I'm gonna start to wrap it up, okay? We write something called a press release FAQ for new idea, set approx 2 years in the future. You work backwards from the, how about, oh. Then present it. Oh. Cool. Go for it. Yeah. I was gonna end on something, and then I completely forgot. What was it? What was it, you guys? It doesn't really matter, does it? Life is okay. I know, I just saw someone like the video. Thanks, Kelly. Marco, you're funny. It's been fun this morning, you guys. This is like a nice chat. I think this might be a nicer chat when we are live together. Like, I'm not sure how random people coming along. This is the vlog that never ends, Rochelle. You're darn straight about that. But you guys, I'm actually like, I'm getting all my kit ready. I'm gonna start filming Spirituality Simplified, and I'm so excited about doing a little bit more work with the zero waste, so that when you guys buy it, you can just have all of the content and like ingest it however you want. Plus share, like Katie and I are still here, you know, for if you need questions. And I guess you could say Katie's the official zero waste consultant, because I've not absorbed the same amount of information as she has to actually produce the writing. So you guys, thanks, Marco. And John, Nestor, Kelly, Mira. I think there's loads of you here with me this morning. Beauty and the Botox. Renee, Rochelle, Miyahari, all of you. You beautiful, beautiful people. You guys, like, you do realize, like, none of this would work if y'all didn't show up on the other side of the screen. and that this has been a big boost for my feel good flow, because you know, when you're doing shares like this for 6 years, and then you get a little spike over slowly, and then suddenly there's like a lovely like little chunk, you're like, yay, my friends have finally turned up to play. Because like honestly, that's what it feels like on YouTube for me now, is like you guys are my friends, and we hang out once or twice a week or once every day or whatevs, and we play. We talk about stuff, and we talk about cool ideas, and keep ourselves in a good feeling flow, because that's what we want to share with people. We want to share love and grace and benevolence and beauty. We want to share all those beautiful qualities with one another. At the same time, we want to be really, really honest about all the shit that we feel as well. All the fear and the fakery and the jealousy and the envy and like bleh. There's all that crap too. I'm heading back to London tomorrow. If any of you guys are in London, UK, you can hit me up for sessions. I do online sessions, you guys. People have been messaging me about like how to book a session. You just have to email molly@alltolove.com. If you join the tribe, so the tribe just has access to some private stuff, private videos. Numbers never stop. No, numbers are like the basis of all creation. Hello, 369. So tribe members pay £22 a month, which you could say the tribe is really like a platform to support the movement, supporting Team Love, supporting small business, whatevs, but mainly really just supporting the movement. And then when you sign up to tribe, so £22 a month, and then with that, you get access to like shitloads of free content that's not public. And then you also have 20% perspective call discount. So I normally charge £100, but tribes get 20% off of that. And then you also get a 10% discount on All to Love events. So any retreats that I host, any events that I put on, any talks, any ticketed online events, tribe members get 10% discount for that. So it's obviously just mega appreciated when there's actual financial investment into All to Love, because it is like my baby, and it is what kind of supports my vision of the new paradigm, because All to Love is a business and all above board, but my plan is to use any profit for All to Love to reinvest into new paradigm activities, businesses, and organizations or initiatives, you know, projects that are doing good that align with sustainability, spirituality, and freedom. So spirituality is spirituality simplified. Freedom is about unplugging from mainstream media and corporate agenda. It's not in alignment with the Earth's ascension. And then vegan love and Zenful Zero Waste really are the two that are like the sustainability piece, but also like spirituality, because things like yoga and meditation tend to align with nonviolence and compassionate understanding, which is why most of us on a yoga journey, at some point we end up not wanting to eat meat and cheese, because it's kind of cruel what happens to the animals and the creatures for our consumption. So the whole 4 pillars are about us transforming our lives. The nice thing I feel anyway about these courses is that they're really practical. Spirituality Simplified is just going to be me basing a lot of stuff from the book and my own personal point of attraction of having these last sort of 15-20 years of spiritual awareness. And yeah, spiritual awareness and insight, right? And now I just keep kind of sharing it, and it's funny to me, just the different aspects of the world. And I sometimes wonder, if I was an Indian man, would people want to listen to me more? Would people think that my things that I said were more valid if I was an Indian man, or even just a white man? It just, something got to me. Sorry, I'm gonna close it down, but I'm randomly finishing this as like, you know, part of my feminist background or part of my women's studies. And like, I was watching someone named Sadhguru, who's like super funny, awesome, like guru type spiritual teacher. And it was really weird, because like, he was just basically saying stuff that I say. And like, he said something about meditation where I had the same thought in 2012 when I was doing Vipassana meditation, and I remember just thinking, if the whole world could just sit down and meditate for like 2 seconds, we'd be good to go. Like, the world could literally transform in a heartbeat if everybody just like sat down and was like, 7.5 or 8 billion of us, if we just sat down, we'd open our eyes and we'd be in a new paradigm, my friends. We'd be like, oh, what have we been doing? Yeah, we've been hating on each other. Oh, we have to love each other. We have to love the planet. All right, okay, let's start doing that. Yay! Okay, I think I got to go. 55, 11, and 2. I love you guys. Wow, I felt that. I hope you did. I sent it out. Any final insights? Activate the love. Thanks, John Beanie. It's activate. It's activate! Activate love vibration. That's how it goes. You guys, thank you for being here. Marco, I also do like meditations. I do because I know I like the quietness, right? That's where the power is. This is all for fun. This is great when my face is shining and I'm talking like some shit, but the juice of life is like that. You guys, I love you. Have a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I'm so looking forward to like one day meeting you all, if even like on a more interactive platform. If you want any info, just email me, molly@alltolove.com. I get triggered by the word coaching, although I do use that online coaching program. I prefer perspective calls, or yeah, perspective calls, because how I work with my clients is even quite chilled. So like quite easy, affordable packaging is just like people send me audio messages being like, blah, 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 and then I send an audio back being like, okay, and they're like, okay. So it's like a little techno, yeah, a little perspective angel that helps you have a perspective that makes you feel better about your life, because let's be honest, life is fucking intense, and it doesn't seem to get less intense. It just seems to get more intense, and yet better at the same time. So I love you all. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I hope that that was somehow useful to you, and maybe even a little entertaining. I'm really not sure. I just want the world to feel amazing, and I want to remind everybody that we're okay, but that we are powerful, and we're powerful creators, and that we need to get really disciplined in our minds and in our hearts, and be open and honest and expose all of our darkness so that it doesn't like chase us around to haunt us, right? Thank you guys. So every Sunday, 6 a.m., I'm just gonna go live and see who's here, and we can shoot the shit and talk about stuff. But please do feel free to email some questions or email like topics that you want me to cover. Enjoy, John. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Tine and John, yeah, everybody that was here this morning. I hope to see you next Sunday at 6 a.m. for some more chill chats. But yeah, if you've got specific themes or topics you'd like me to talk about, then email me, and I'll make a little list of bullet points that I can follow for next Sunday. Good night, everyone. Good night, Neverland. I look forward to speaking to you beautiful creators really soon. I love you guys. Have a gorgeous day. Peace out.